Stage 21 of the Vuelta, the final stage, and it was a sprint stage, and it was won by Molana in a very peculiar sprint because he was pulling Ackerman basically, but he kept on pulling him, and Ackerman didn't go for his own sprint. He just stayed in the wheel, and Molana kept pulling and pulling, and he ended up going across the line in first place. So it's not something you see very often. I mean, it does happen, but it's not something you see regularly. So yeah, peculiar last stage win for Milano. But the overall was, of course, won by Remco Evenepoel, and an absolute great victory, ending a near half a century drought for Belgium. For Belgium, so absolutely fabulous, like awesome victory. Um, Remco definitely didn't steal this year's Vuelta. I mean, I know there's been some crashes, some COVID cases, but looking back at entire Vuelta, Remco basically dominated this year's Vuelta, in my opinion. Like, I mean, sure, Roglic would have made it a battle during the final week, and he might have come close. But at the same time, Roglic only came close to Evenepoel as a result of Evenepoel feeling sore from crashing. Because before his crash, Evenepoel had 2 minutes 40 seconds or something on Roglic, and I genuinely believe that if Remco does not crash, Roglic would not have been able to take as much time back, if any, on Evenepoel. Now, would I have liked to see Evenepoel and Roglic duke it out during final week? Yes, of course, it would have been great entertainment. Because Moss, for all his talents, is not someone who can battle you for GC the way Roglic can. Right, Roglic would go all out. He'd go for the juggler, whereas Mass would always keep some reserve. Um, but you know, I genuinely believe that even if Roglic had remained in the race, Evenepoel would have won it. Because if you looked at the final couple of stages, Evenepoel found his form back once he stopped suffering from his crash. Plus, the final couple of climbs weren't that tough. So I do not believe that even if Roglic was better on those final stages, he would have been able to take a whole minute and a half back on Evenepoel. I just don't see it happening. So definitely a deserved victory for Evenepoel this year. Um, and like going forwards, I also think this victory will do wonders for Evenepoel. Just it's not just an amazing achievement in and by itself. I think going forwards, it will be absolutely beneficial for Evenepoel, because from here on out, the media um, will have to be partially, like, they will be forced to get off his back at least partially. Like, no longer will be able to say, well, when will he finally be able to win a Grand Tour? Um, of course, they're still going to say, well, when will he finally be able to win the Tour de France? Because that's the biggest of them all. But no longer will they be able to ask, when will he finally be able to win a Grand Tour? Because if he had only podiums, the question marks and pressure of the media would remain, and now they can no longer do that. Sure, there will still be pressure for winning the Tour de France, but they will be forced to acknowledge he already won a Grand Tour, so that's in and by itself a great bonus for Evenepoel. Secondly, I think his status in the peloton will change. Like, winning this Vuelta will definitely change his status, I think, because Mars going into the final week still believed he could beat Evenepoel. I think, like, he was hoping Evenepoel might suffer in last week, maybe crack or something like that. And if Mars was second on Pogacar and not on Evenepoel, let's say he's battling Pogacar, no way he would ever believe he would be able to beat Pogacar on the final week. Like, he'd say some token words to the press, but he would not truly believe it himself. And I generally believed Mars believed he could beat Evenepoel in the final week. And I think with Evenepoel seeing out the Volta so comfortably, his status will definitely improve from here on out. Like, he still won't be Pogacar and Vingard level. Like, they're still next level, but he's gonna be right below them. I mean, he was already in a conversation for right below them, but now he's definitely, for sure, right below them. And I think, like, that will change the way people view him, the way they race against him, how they go about the tactics and so stuff like that. Because and I think that will help Evenepoel, because if he's in a similar situation and he's got like 2 minutes or someone, I don't think they're gonna believe in the future that Evenepoel will crack there, and that will help make the latter stages easier. Because if you don't believe he'll be able to defeat him, you're not gonna go for the attack, because you're just gonna go and try and defend your own position. So I think this will definitely help Evenepoel in future as well. And finally, there's like a bonus for Evenepoel as well himself. Like from here on out, he will know he'll be able to do 3 weeks. He will know he'll be able to win a Grand Tour. So his confidence will go up from here on out. Like many doubts will forever evaporate from now. There'll be more certainty going into a Grand Tour. Um, Speaking of future Grand Tours, I know everyone's already speaking about the Tour de France, but me personally, I would prefer him if he try and win the Giro first. Um, like I have him go for the victory in the Giro, and then I don't know if that's possible fitness wise, because you don't want to destroy your rider. But if it's possible fitness wise, I would have him go for the victory in the Giro, and just let him ride the Tour de France as exploration. So everyone knows, okay, he went for the victory in the Giro. It's not gonna be possible for him to also be at the top level in the Tour. He's just here to explore, and that way he'll be able to get to know the Tour de France stress free. And I think that would be a perfect way to go about it. Because I would really want him to see, like I would want to see him win the Giro as well. I'm not saying that's going to be possible, but I want him to try, because I'm like one of those guys who um, thinks winning the Triple Crown is absolutely awesome. Like if someone wins 3 tours, or if someone wins one Giro, one Volta, one Tour de France, I think the latter is a greater achievement. I mean, most people will disagree with me. Most people say, well, no, the Tour is the biggest of them all. Winning that 3 times is bigger. But for me, I like the diversity. I would prefer the Triple Crown. So, I mean, I'm not saying he'll do it. I mean, I believe he can do it, but I'm not sure. And I'm not saying he will do it. But I would love if he now would go first for the Giro, and if he wins it in like the next 2 3 years, he still has all the rest of his career to try and win the Tour. But that's just me. So that's hopeful thinking on my part. Because of course there's no guarantee for what's happening, for what's gonna happen in the future. Um, yeah, but yeah, I know I'm getting ahead of myself, because just winning this Vuelta is already a great achievement in and by itself. Like it's a major achievement. So yeah, just happy about that. Um, but you cannot help but wish for even more in the future, because if you're like a fan of some guy, you want to win. You want him to win lots and lots and lots. So yeah, but great victory. He well deserved victory. Awesome, absolutely awesome.